About that we are seeing now from truck drivers, New York City, and that verdict? Is this just a one-off, or is this a sign of what's potentially to come down the line here?
Well, certainly we've seen this in other Western democracies. We've seen it in Canada. We've seen it in France. We've seen it in Germany, where you have working class people stage what they consider to be a revolt against the elites, and truck drivers are well connected in all of that stuff. I don't know the way out, though, because if they could raise prices, which they could, right? Other truckers would come in to fill that space, obviously, because markets being what markets are, railroads and other trucking companies would say, we're here for you. If they could get prices up, I don't know how they get out of this.
So here's what Kevin O'Leary, who's, Shark Tank fame, here's what he said earlier today. He says, it doesn't matter what the governor says, New York was already a loser state, like California is a loser state. There are many loser states because of policy, high taxes, uncompetitive regulation, and it was already on the top of the list of being a loser state. I would never invest in New York now, and I'm not the only person saying that, Bill McGinley, to bring it beyond just truck drivers potentially.
Yeah, this is not a one-off. This is now legal precedent. I mean, Letitia James and the AG's office and this judge have now set precedent that is probably disturbing a lot of the New York real estate developers, because they're wondering, do we need to go back over this? Right? Because at the end of the day, there were no victims. They had sophisticated banks who did their own due diligence on the claims of property value. He repaid it in full plus interest. There's nobody who was a victim here. And so now you have all these real estate developers who are looking at this and wondering if a Republican attorney general comes in, which is not going to happen anytime soon in New York, but maybe a Republican DA, someplace where they develop, are they now going to be vulnerable because of this precedent?
Yeah, but this is an outlier. Trump engaged in massive fraud over several years. So I think it's it's an outlier, but two, it's going to make real estate developers clean up their books if they need to be cleaned up. But more importantly, I don't think as a former president of the D.C. Chamber of Commerce, D.C., New York, and California are tough for businesses because of taxes and regulations, but those are mutually exclusive issues. Trump was an outlier and extraordinarily committed fraud, and we need to keep it the way and look at it the way it should be looked at.
This is trending on social media. Truckers for Trump.
Yeah. Well, and just go back off of what Chris said. I mean, this is Trump's base, the working class base. And look, buckle up 2024. I mean, this is the first major legal decision we've seen out of Trump's legal issues. Let's see what happens next.
That's what I was wondering. Like, if there's a verdict in Georgia that goes against him, now all of a sudden, are there going to be boycotts of the state of Georgia? I don't know.
But the truckers lose money, too, and lose business, too, if they stage this boycott. There'll be other truckers, as Chris said, that will fill that gap. It's not like this is some unionized effort.
I'm going to disagree with that real quick. Just real quick.
The
trucking industry actually has been suffering from a shortage of drivers. And so if 10% say they're not delivering to New York City, there is not the labor force bandwidth to pick up that 10%.
So let's dive into that for a second. Joining us now is Craig Fuller, the founder and CEO of FreightWaves. That is a data reporting agency focusing on global freight. Craig, thanks for being with us here on the Hill. First time, I believe. So you got some of these truckers saying, you know what, we're not going into New York because of what happened to Donald Trump. If I'm just anybody living in New York and I see that headline and you hear what that woman said off the top of the show, should they be concerned?
No, not at all. FreightWaves has been around since 2017. We've covered dozens of quote-unquote boycotts and protests among truck drivers. They never amount to anything, especially not now. One of the folks on the panel mentioned that there is a truck driver shortage. That has been debunked on multiple occasions. The fact is that the trucking industry has too much capacity, and the industry is really struggling from a significant downturn, and we're not going to see truck drivers give up the opportunity to make money simply because of some political stance that they want to take.
In theory, couldn't independent owner-operators stop what they're doing, right? Like, if you're working for a company and they say drive that truck to New York, you're driving that truck to New York or you're getting fired, I presume, or suspended or whatever. But if you own your own truck and you say, you know what, I don't like what happened to Donald Trump, I'm not going to New York, in theory, I guess that could happen, right?
In theory, it could happen, but we've also looked at multiple of these boycotts and protests, and in theory, They sound great on paper. You know, not less than 2 weeks ago, we heard that there were going to be 700,000 truck drivers in southern Texas protesting the border crisis that's down there. It simply is not going to happen. There is going to be very little impact to freight flows.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.